Hello and welcome to the New Indian Express Online. I'm Bansi Karpa. With me are two activists, they're really members of the Kondhavaru Yaru campaign. This is a campaign taken out by certain women protesters, and they are seeking that the unnatural deaths of women, needs to be investigated. So, what exactly is this Kondhavaru Yaru campaign?
The Kondhavaru Yaru campaign, we began, many of us activists, we came together very concerned about what was happening to the SIT that had been set up to investigate all these rapes and murders, unnatural deaths, of that had been happening in this one small region of Belthangady. And this is something was specifically of concern to us because we have been involved as women's rights activists. We have all been involved in trying to seek justice for many young women who had been reported raped and killed over the past 20 years. So this is not
For example,
a new issue.
is there some particular case which is older than Saujanya?
Absolutely. There is Pushpalata's case, that was equally violent. She was again a 17-year-old girl. She was in fact one of the first young women who went to do her PUC to study PUC science. So she had been raped and murdered.
Which
Her
year
case
was
had been.
this?
This was in 1986.
Yeah,
1986.
So roughly about 40 years ago.
No, Padmalata was
Padmalata was 86.
86, yes. Padmalata was 86. So this has been something that is before that, of course, there was Vedavali in the 70.
1980, 79.
79.
1979.
Yeah, was Vedavali. Then there was Padmalata. Then there was Saujanya. Yamuna. So there have been many cases like this where it has been reported that young women have been raped and murdered. Some cases, the names we know, many we don't know. But I think especially Saujanya's case was something that brought all organizations together, and this happened in 2012. So it has been of deep concern to us that in one little region, why are so many women going missing? Why are they being found dead in the most horrendous circumstances? Why is it that the police machinery has not addressed it? Why is it that the investigations have not been conducted properly? Why is it that the system has not asked the question, why are so many women being killed here in this one little region? Why are they dying here? Why has the system not been asking this question?
So your point really is, while there has been so much of an outrage about one Nirbhaya, here there are 200 plus Nirbhayas.
More than that.
More than that?
Yeah.
So you suspect that over a period of time, many women have gone missing and found unnaturally dead. So you're saying it needs to be investigated.
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. So what are your demands?
See, we demand that the special investigation team has formed by the state government recently. And we demand that all these cases which have been registered in the Belthangady police station or within the Dharmasthala limits, they have to be investigated by the SIT. So
all cases of unnatural death,
Yeah.
disappearance has to be investigated by SIT.
yeah.
Alright.
Those which have been registered and which are being registered now of late, so they have to be investigated by the special investigative team.
So, on an unofficial estimate, the number of people missing, the number of people presumed dead over a period of 5 years, what is that number that you have?
So actually, the state government had formed a committee to look into the atrocities on women and children in 2014.
And you are part of that
Yeah, I
committee.
was part of that committee, and Shri V.S. Ugrappa, who was then the MLC, he was the...
Later you went on to become MP, he was heading that committee.
Yeah, he was heading that committee. And when we went to every district on a review meeting. So when we went to Dakshina Kannada, we went twice to Dakshina Kannada. Once in 2016 and once in 2017. When we went to Dakshina Kannada in 2016 January, a specific question was asked about the missing cases and the unnatural death cases in Dharmasthala limits. So the district SP directed the additional SP to answer that question. So he gave a very alarming answer that for the past 5 years, there were around more than 100 UDR,
UDR means unnatural death report.
reports.
Okay, so for the past 5 years,
Yeah.
at the rate of more than 100
Every year.
every year, so that means in the past 5 years you have about
500
500 missing
Yeah.
or
Unnatural
unnaturally
death.
dead.
Yeah.
So, but we can't assume or presume that all of them are women.
Yeah.
So,
True.
how many really are women? It's left to the investigation, but we can safely assume that about half of them could be women.
Maybe. Yeah.
Okay, but there is also this theory that many people choose a holy place to come and commit suicide.
I think maybe Jyothi can answer that because this question
Yeah,
was
because
asked
you
during
know,
the Ugrapa
people
committee.
have actually said that maybe the women are choosing to come to Dharmasthala to commit suicide. So,
See, it's not just the people, but even the police there, the police officers, highest officers in the district, they said that the people are choosing Dharmasthala to surrender to suicide because they think they get moksha there. So the committee's chairperson, Shri Ugrappa, he asked the police. He was enraged, and the whole committee was enraged by that answer. And he asked them why there are many other places. Religious places. There is Tirupati, where more than Dharmasthala people
Much
go
higher
there.
footfall
Much higher,
there.
yeah, go there. And there are many other places
There's
why
also
people.
Palani
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Tamil
and
Nadu.
even in Malnad there is Sringeri,
Sringeri,
there is
Hornadu.
Hornadu. So why people should throng at Dharmasthala?
Mantralaya is there.
Mantralaya
Yes,
is
yes.
there. Why should people come here and especially women come here and get raped and murdered and or get in their words
Absolutely.
they get suicide? They should go to suicide.
Okay, so also we've seen a lot of politicking over this issue and parties sparring over this issue. We won't get into it. So, in the midst of this, your campaign is really to say, how did those women die? You only want an investigation into it, and you want a thorough investigation, and of course, the system to say this is what has happened after an investigation.
In fact, that is precisely the reason why we even started this campaign. You know, as we were saying, we were very hopeful when the SIT was set up, which is a special investigation team, because one, we were concerned about the patterns of violence there, because Saujanya was not an isolated incident. You know, there were many other cases which needed proper investigation, because according to our
So, what was alarming you
Yeah.
is that they were mostly single women.
Yes.
They had been to Dharmasthala and they disappeared under mysterious circumstances.
Not only disappeared, they were also killed.
Many of them were found dead under mysterious circumstances.
And all those cases were closed.
Were closed.
Were closed.
And many of these women were also found raped.
Yes.
Now that's your other concern.
No, actually, I have a different point to make. We made some points like we named some women here, young women who were raped and killed, even burnt. So these women were natives of Dharmasthala. They didn't come from outside. So this is a case of not just rape. It is because of some politics, some because of land issue, land dispute. So women's bodies were raped and misused due to different reasons. because of land disputes.
So you're
Because-
saying all that needs to be
Yeah,
investigated.
exactly.
There are many dimensions
Yeah.
to this, and we are saying that women once again become victims of a certain politics. And that was what we were concerned that even at this time, when finally the state seems to have woken up, and to say that, okay, let us sit and investigate, because the mandate of the SIT was not just to look at, how many bodies have been buried there. The mandate very clearly says that the unnatural deaths that have happened there over the past 2 decades need to be investigated. And for us, this includes Saujanya, it includes all the numbers
All
of
the
other
other
women
victims.
who have been known to have been raped and killed there. So we said finally there's a chance that the truth will be revealed. And it disturbed us that when the SIT should have been allowed to do its work, there was again, once more, apart from the cover up that happened at the time that the crimes happened, again there seems to be an attempt to cover up the investigation, which would lead us to at least find out who killed these women. A question which has not been answered all these decades. So when the investigation is underway, barely started, already there's a lot of politics, polarization, division, distractions being created. And the question was no longer who killed the women. The question became who did not kill them. And how are we going to protect those who are being accused? We've not even accused anybody. Nobody is an accused in this case. The investigation should happen before you can accuse somebody.
Okay. So there it is, Kondhavaru Yaru campaign, really. And this is the pamphlet of the Kondhavaru campaign saying, Nondavara jote, now new. Which means literally we stand with those victims. So this campaign essentially speaking about this mysterious deaths, especially of women. And this campaign seeking to highlight it, saying justice should be done, a thorough investigation needs to be done, and most of all, truth should not be sacrificed at the altar of convenience. Thank you for joining me.